to Anime Unraveled. I'm Rex Paget.
I am Daniel Peppers, and it's the boys. It's the original crew.
It's
the
your
OG.
boys. We're missing one.
Yeah, it's the boys minus the new guy.
How new is he? It's been over 100 episodes.
Yeah, he's almost been here for 100. Still the new guy.
I think he's been here over 100.
No,
because he was after episode like 13, and we've done 120.
No,
Yeah.
no, we've only done like 109.
Wait, oh, I know where I'm getting confused. Because whenever I do the thumbnails, I felt like 25 or so.
Yeah.
I'm like 125. Yeah.
Technically, we've only done like 20 Rex.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't been around long.
Hey,
We're new to this.
Yeah. What is this microphone?
Yeah. How do you use?
I did think about it, when we talked about doing one, just us. I was like, what if we did the first episode again?
Wait, like the actual first episode?
Yeah, like what if we printed out, because I can get the transcripts, right? And we printed it out.
And tried to like react it?
Yeah, but I would play you and you would play me.
That sounds interesting.
Like that would be wild,
yeah,
right?
It'd be really out of body experience, but
Like if we but we didn't tell anybody. See, we can't do it now.
Yeah, obviously.
Like we can't do it this episode because we've told them. But if you see an episode like that in the future, we ran out of ideas. We fell off hard, you know what I mean? We were like, we're just gonna redo it. It's gonna be called the reboot.
Nice.
Because a lot of anime gets rebooted, you know what I'm saying?
Anime, Marvel movies, all kinds of things.
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets except for reboot. You think reboot will ever get rebooted?
Never. It's not gonna happen.
Maybe one day. I loved reboot. I might be the only person.
I
stand with
I
reboot.
never got super into it.
Oh, dude, I loved it. I remember watching reboot coming home. And I watched it on a CRTV.
Wait, how did you watch it coming home?
Or not coming home.
It's like, dude,
on
were
my
you
iPhone.
living the rich life back then? Like,
no.
Yeah, I had a CRT TV in the back of my van hanging from the ceiling.
Actually, I did feel very rich because we had a CRTV. For those that don't know what that is, it's a tube TV, very heavy. I used to carry them to people to get LAN parties.
Halo, I got you.
But I had one in the kitchen.
Like a small one?
Yeah, like a little tiny one that was in the corner of the kitchen, and I would do it when I'm eating my cereal.
See, I thought I lived in somewhat poverty for a while because I think we had like a 20-inch CRT.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went over to one of my friend's houses, and he had to have like a 10. Like it was, and that was like his main TV.
It was like a 10-inch? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how do you live? Like, do you just have x-ray vision?
You're looking at the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are about this big. You're like, is that the Dark Magician? I don't even know. Is it Blue Eyes White Dragon?
There's not enough pixels on screen.
I can't
but,
tell.
I thought that for like a second, but then as soon as we started playing like Super Smash, I was like, whatever. Let's go.
Good enough. Let's
good
get
enough. I can see the pixels kicking your pixels ass.
It's also so weird for me with Tristan not being here because he usually has his phone, so I can look down and I usually can see how you guys are framed. Oh. And hopefully you're in frame.
I mean, I look in frame.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. It would be really funny if like Tristan's not here and it's just half your face. It's just like this. You're like, yeah, so. And it's
so things went a little awry, which.
He's the glue that holds us together.
Yeah, he is.
him always being on time.
That one's for you, Tristan.
Tristan, when he listens to it, he's the only one that knows. His punctuality, up there. I love you. I know we just got back into our friendship. I don't.
I'm not trying to push the limit.
He called me when this episode gets released. He's like, "We're back off. We're back to acquaintances. I'm sorry."
I'm not even sorry.
I'm not even sorry, you acquaintance. But no, man. So that was one idea, but unfortunately, we didn't decide to do that. We decided instead to have the greatest conversation to ever grace the anime. Dude, this conversation that we're about to have.
It's one that everyone's had ever.
Ever. If you have had friends.
At least if you've enjoyed shonen anime. I can't imagine if someone was like, yeah, I watch like Fruits Basket and stuff, and this is the conversation. How does that even work in that world?
I love the dog. The dog has the biggest powers in Fruits Basket. Are you kidding me? You know this.
I know there is power scaling, I guess, to a degree. Yeah.
Kind of. You think about
the
it.
martial arts in it.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
damn, let's break it down.
Let's break it down. No, I don't know that. I really want to get into Fruits Basket.
It's good. Like,
Yeah.
dude, honestly, the manga is all right. Like,
Sure. I
has-
struggled a little bit through that
yeah,
first volume.
the art has not aged well. But
feel
if you
sure.
watch the new anime of it,
Mhm.
it's beautiful. It's
I have heard nothing but that from
yeah,
the new Fruits
it's
Baskets.
extremely well done. And also, it has one of the best opening songs, I'd say, ever
yeah.
of anime. And that's like on season 2, I think.
You know me. I love.
A good OP.
Oh, dude, love music.
Yeah.
Me, love it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't
Oh,
just watch it once and say no. There was one. I'm trying to remember because we were talking about doing a music one. and
it was
but you know, I've told
Rising
you
of the Shield Hero.
I was like,
I'm
I
pretty
never
sure.
skip it.
Yeah,
I
you
always
never
watch
skip.
it. I was just like, man, this is nice. I think it was also looking up at the rain.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Well, yeah, we felt that in our souls. We went through a time with it's so sad that season 2 did what it
we
did.
were very sick. It was a fever dream of a time, me and you living together. Little did we know that was the good times.
It was. Who knew? All downhill from there.
A roller coaster. Oh man. But no, this really is. And I think this is why I think it'd be interesting to have this conversation. We'll do this episode is because I truthfully think that if you had friends or if you were on message boards, for people that didn't know, a lot of websites had message boards,
True.
or forums.
Yeah, forums was huge.
And you always, and it's still to this day, people have made successful YouTube channels talking about power scaling.
Oh yeah, power scaling, power ups.
Power ups, transformations, whatever you want to call it. Like people have made millions of people subscribe to these channels because they're like, I need to know. Does Goku beat Superman?
Yeah,
I need to know this.
Can Goku beat cancer?
I need to know these things.
Obviously.
But yeah, we just really want to talk about kind of like, I guess the good, the bad, and what makes power and power ups and stuff so fun if you like shonen anime.
Well, then when they're actually done well.
Yeah.
Like, obviously there are some series out there that just keep breaking that ceiling over and over again.
I think that's kind of what led to this too. I think that's the worst thing that has happened
In anime?
in shonen anime.
Oh, for sure. Because I think, honestly, Dragon Ball Z is the biggest culprit.
100%.
Like, well, not Dragon Ball Z, just Dragon Ball in general.
Dragon Ball the series, but I think it has to be, and I'll tell you why. Because I think modern day Dragon Ball is the blueprint. For better or for worse, Dragon Ball is that blueprint of like popular shonen anime.
It is. It definitely was the blueprint for a lot, but a lot of authors, I feel like, did realize that they needed to change the power system.
Oh,
to-
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the power scaling, but I'm talking about if you use Dragon Ball as a blueprint, if you use it, you will one day get to the point that it has sword pass where it's like they have to fight God now, and then they have to beat God. You know what I mean? Or they have to be universe busters. Like
I mean, yeah. It happened.
You have to get to that point because you can't keep going. And I think a lot of series do this where every season they have to introduce a villain. Now, a lot of series recently, I think, have had like series-long villains that keep coming back, going out.
Yeah, like Hero Academia.
Hero Academy, a Demon Slayer with Michael Jackson.
Mugen.
Yeah.
Not Mugen. I can't think of his name.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's
It's
close
Michael
enough.
Jackson.
Yeah.
It's MJ. We know.
Yeah.
You see that glove he wears? It's MJ.
I saw him moonwalking. I got you.
Yeah, you understand. But yeah, and I think that when it comes to that of having to introduce a big bad, what happens is you need a culmination at the end of a season. You need that big battle in shonen anime.
Kind of.
You don't think so? I feel like you
Okay.
have to have that
I
moment.
guess in shonen anime, I'm just thinking back on very recently. I finished Vinland Saga, at
Yeah.
least season 2, and you don't get that.
Well, that's a seinen though.
Yeah, it's a seinen.
It's not punch that guy.
I mean, it kind of was.
It kind of was,
Was.
but now it's I have no enemies. How was that? Because I got to it in the manga, because we're far ahead of the series
we're
in the manga. But
toward the end.
did that? Because I remember that panel is so amazing. in the manga.
So he says it 2 different times.
I'm talking about the
season 2.
time where, at least in the panel in my head, it's like a full 1-page spread, and he's standing there, and he's like, he kind of finally figures it out, and he's like, I have no enemies. I can't exactly remember
I think that's
the
like
situation.
the one where it's like right at the end of the farm arc.
It is very much right at the end of that.
Yeah. So that does happen in the anime, and they do it pretty good justice. Like, honestly, the build up to that scene is like really good. I do feel like they slowed down in some areas that they didn't need to, just to like fit the 24 episodes and staying mostly in the farm arc.
Right.
Like literally the last episode, no, not really a spoiler, but it's him returning home.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where the series ends for season 2. So, season 3, we're going to get to meet my favorite character.
Dude,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Good old Siggy.
I can't wait if they keep up, because you know what's so funny about Vinland Saga? God, we're going to go on so many tangents.
We are.
But it's fine. That's what you come to expect from Unraveled. Even when Tristan's not here, we're still just as unraveled.
Not wrong.
Especially it's late tonight.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we get extra unraveled.
Of course.
But I think, because and you can go back and listen to the episodes, I always thought, man, people are going to fall off of Vinland of season 2. Like, it's going to get such a cold reception.
I mean, I feel like it did.
I think it's brought people back around, though, because I have heard nothing but, like, people are like, oh, it's so good. Because I think if you can stick with Vinland, by the end of season 2, you understand what the story is that it's trying to do. And the structure that it's trying to do.
They really do push it toward the end, in the anime especially. Like, they did skip a few things that I could understand a few of the cuts they made at the end. But they definitely do push the message, kind of like they did in the manga when that's happening, but a little more so, I think. But if you've stuck, honestly, you didn't even have to make it all the way through the farm arc to like get back on the train.
And I think that's what's happened is people, it got to that point that it gets into the manga where you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
This is the series that this creator is trying to do.
This is the story that he's trying to tell.
This is what he's trying to tell.
Oh, yeah.
This is about to be special.
In which I think, I want to say it's like episode 5 or 6 into season 2 that you find, like, you get the first like little inkling of it. Because that's when you first meet Snake.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically Thorfinn gives a speech of, why do I have to want to live? Nothing has ever happened that was good in my whole life. And like at that point, you kind of start seeing it. But
God, I need to watch, because I feel like the manga is incredible. I just highly recommend. We both highly recommend.
Yeah, like honestly, I've watched all of season 2, and I will still say the manga does a good bit of it better, at least to me. The anime did do a good job, but they slowed down on the like Arnhild, like
the pacing issues a little bit.
There's a little bit of a pacing issue toward the end, and at the beginning they did kind of cut a few things, but that's okay.
But it's still incredible.
It's still a masterpiece.
It really is. I can definitely say for the manga, because we're like volume 12 in the manga. Like we're almost caught up. We did the thing. If you read manga, you understand this. You do the thing where you're like, I only got 1 volume of collected left. I'm gonna slow it down.
I basically, what I did at least, I read through the most. I'm gonna say it's the most badass fucking arc there is in Vinland Saga, probably.
Which one?
It's. I don't want to go into the description, but it's in like volume 11.
Okay.
I think volume 11 is when it finishes up.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, there's only 2 volumes left. I was like, I gotta stop.
I remember we had this conversation.
Before I get into another arc, and I'm like in the middle waiting for more.
I know
because I couldn't do it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. There is a good.
There's a good
if
stop
you're reading
point
the manga,
at
volume 11 is a good stopping point where you're like, let me just let him get a little bit more, because his release schedule's a little, but let that man cook. Let him cook, as they say, as kids, as the young hip people of the podcast. Let him cook. But yeah, I can't highly recommend that series. I think that series. And I'm glad, like, it's so funny because it's actually one of the animes I really want to catch up on, even though I've read it.
Yeah.
I think at least in the next 10 to 15 years, maybe forever for me, it'll always be part of the conversation of top 5. I think it's just super special.
As far as manga goes, for sure. Now,
I
as
think
far
it's
as
super special.
anime goes, I don't think I'd rank it that high.
What?
Yeah, I don't think it would fall in my top 5.
Oh, of anime.
Anime.
Oh,
Manga, yeah, I think it will always be in my top 5.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That first season is so good.
I mean, yeah, the first season's amazing, but the thing is, of Vinland Saga, the parts I enjoy are actually pretty much all past the first season. Like, yeah, the back end of that first season, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, dear God.
And that's what I was going to say is the reason I want to get caught up is I think that a lot of the story beats will hit harder with if they do the animation right and the music. I think music could do a lot of things for that stuff.
So, honestly, the music throughout the series and season 2, I didn't really pay a huge amount of attention to it. Now, the opening themes, of course, I listened to them a few times. And I will say the first opening theme for season 2 is a banger.
All right.
And honestly, the second one's good. It's just, I don't know, that first one, so good.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of some conversations they had in the manga, and I'm like, dude, like an orchestra, something behind them, just hit you in the emotional a little bit more.
They kind of do something like that, and it does work. Yeah. It's just...
You wouldn't say it stands out.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it stands out. I'd say it does its job and does it well, but...
I wonder if we come back to you a few seasons down, because Vinland's popular enough, it's going to continue to go a few seasons down the line, and if that top 5 conversation is different, because some of your stuff's coming up
when it catches up, like maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna wonder.
Yeah, I was about to say, because after, season 2 and after is like my favorite stuff.
Yeah.
Like season 1 is action packed and amazing.
I'm with you. I think season 1 is it's a great hook. Yeah. It's a great hook, and I still think that it's one of the best scenes that I've recently watched in anime is when he drops the knife and you see all the flashes that he does. I think that season 1 shot's so good. But you're right. I think the thing that when you hear people that read the manga that they talk, because Vinland has gotten super popular in the manga community, the stuff that they're talking about is a little later on. Not much later, but a little later on. And so about season 4 of Vinland, I bet it's going to be all over the internet.
I will say they aged him really well in the anime. Like, as far as like slowly transitioning him to make him look older, like they did a great job.
I wonder if it's the same voice actor.
I can't actually remember.
Yeah, I just, if you know, let us know in the comments.
Let us know down below.
But yeah, you remember we were talking about power scale?
Power scale.
or power ups or transformations.
Ups. Well, I thought about it as far as power ups go, and that's how we first kind of thought of this topic, in which I thought of what kind of power ups are there in manga and anime.
Well, I think that you obviously have the transformation.
Probably, honestly, transformation, I think, is like the number one, you want clickbait? That's it.
It's the iconic moments.
Now, the other ones, though, I feel like are a little less, flashy, but some of them, honestly, I feel like are better.
All right, let me see if I can guess. Okay. Transformations.
Yep.
Obviously up there, because nothing's more iconic than, the Super Saiyans, the gears, this kind of stuff.
There's 6 total that I thought of.
6 total.
Yep, 6 total.
Oh goodness. I told you about the transformation.
Yep.
That's on there.
Yeah.
The transformation on there.
Obviously.
I hear what you're saying. Training montages.
Well, okay, so training kind of leads into one of them.
Okay.
So another power up that's super common in anime, obviously, is new techniques.
Oh, the Rasengan
or Chidori, or
Naruto kind of does them all, huh?
Yeah,
or does it those?
Yeah, Naruto literally does transformations, techniques. I don't think it kind of does some of the other ones too, but not as much.
Okay, so all right, new techniques, which is training.
Yeah,
the training montage of I'm gonna go meet with my elder and
King Kai teaching him the
Kai
spirit bomb off screen.
The best one.
Of course, you can't show us how Goku learned these techniques.
He's got to hit this bumblebee with his hammer. We get it.
It was a cricket.
Yeah. Is it a cricket?
He's a cricket. His name's Jeffrey.
No, his name's Gregory.
Oh, is it Gregory? Yeah. It's
Jeffrey the Giraffe is Toys R Us Rex.
Well, I don't know.
It's Gregory and Bubbles, obviously.
Well, yeah, Bubbles.
The little monkey.
Yeah.
All right, so the third one. The third power-up, because I've already said transformation.
Yeah, obviously.
I have that one. Good. Just it's on there. All right.
You're buying time.
The third one that I definitely know, besides the transformation, that's on there, is what is it? What's the first letter?
So one of them you could think of a bunch of different ways, but the way I put it down, it starts with an M.
Morphing time.
No, but that would be a transformation.
But it's on there. The transformation is okay. Just making sure the transformation we got that one out of the way. M. Montage.
I mean, that goes into technique, I guess.
I hear you, which is also on there.
Yeah.
Morphing not on there. M.
Okay,
money.
I don't think
they pay for it. Pay to win.
Pay to win. One character that does that. Money is his power.
Batman?
No.
Of a really good anime that I need to finish.
Yeah, you and me both.
What is it?
It's high card, but
no, I know what is the M.
Oh, mindset, because there's like that in the zone, and also like in Bleach, like will, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, because you could also do like Black Clover is the big thing of like push past your limits. The My Hero.
Oh yeah, same with My Hero. So
yeah,
I
focus,
mindset, something like that.
Where they get pushed against. I mean, it is definitely a trope of that power scaling where they're like they'll never win, and then they get the real eyes. They're like,
yeah, I feel like limit break might be a good term.
Limit breaker or something like that.
Because that's the same thing with like Gohan.
Yeah,
he got pushed to the edge.
Put the Gohan
one step closer
to the edge, and I'm about to break.
Exactly.
I guarantee you go to YouTube right now, you can find that. With him, with the line going through him, and he's going Super Saiyan 2, one step closer to the edge.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
Android 16, what a hero.
Yeah, for sure.
He was a hero.
He was.
Best Android.
I still find it hilarious that Android 17 actually does become a park ranger at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing to me.
The spoilers for Super.
I mean,
you don't care.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, but you don't care.
I only know it because of Dragon Ball Z Bridge.
Oh, I was going to tell you a bigger spoilers for Super.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. He wins the Tournament of Power. It's a great moment for him.
Yeah, I've seen.
It's a great moment for him.
It's amazing.
He gets a redemption arc that's incredible. Android 16, not so lucky. We've never heard from him again.
Well, he was a ginger.
Yeah.
Soulless.
They never want him. Thrown to the side. So mindset, I guess that is true, because you do see a lot of that, and it's technically, but the reason that I think that's hard to differentiate from transformation, because a lot of times when people get into the mindset.
Well, you say that, but like imagine with Bleach, he doesn't transform whenever he's fighting Kenpachi the first time.
That's true.
He just changes his mindset. He gets his will resolved, and
I guess the reason I say transformation is I'm thinking of the Rock Lee. Where he takes off the bandages.
Okay, yeah, that's a little different.
Because he opens the gates.
Yeah, he opens the gates.
But that is definitely a mindset.
Yeah, that's definitely a mindset.
But kind of a transformation.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
A little bit both on
I'm
that.
saying they go hand in hand.
Yeah, that one's a combo.
It's a great scene.
Wombo combo. Yeah, and honestly, one of the best
One of the best scenes.
Like, I still go back and watch that sometimes.
When he's like, I'm going to...
Honestly, just all the tuning exams. Just go and watch all of those if you have.
And I will say this, and I will give props to Naruto on this podcast. I love that he did all that, still lost. You hardly ever see that.
That actually is pretty badass.
I think if more things, because I think that's more realistic, because honestly, you don't see that a lot. You don't see push past your limits. I'm going to do all this.
Actually, Rock Lee was using 3 of the ones, because the next one, which pushing past your limits and losing.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. I feel like that's pretty huge with power-ups.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Vegeta. Vegeta's sacrifice is still one of his best moments.
I mean, yeah,
he fucking pulls in his son, and his son is really weirded out by this because
he's never.
He's like, and he's like, even for you, Kakarot. I talk as much shit as the next guy about Dragon Ball, but that goddamn scene, unbeatable.
That was one of the best scenes, and literally,
amazing.
it's one of the. it's one of the main driving factors that made me actually enjoy the Buu saga.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the driving factors. I mean, Vegeta had earned his place, obviously, when the time it came out, too. Edgelord was very big, and he was the king of them, as well as the Saiyans. Yeah. If you don't know, Kakarot, I'm king of the Saiyans. Motherfucker, you're Pride. Is Pride one of them? Because,
no, Pride.
But yeah, and he has two very good sacrifice scenes, if you think about it. The Frieza one where he gets shot through the heart, and he gives Goku that big, huge speech about Saiyans and all that stuff. It's amazing.
I mean, yeah, it is, but I wouldn't say that was really a sacrifice. He was dead.
He sacrificed himself.
He did not. He probably was like, Goku, why didn't you block that one?
No, I'm going to say he meant to do it. I'm going to say he loved that moment. He did that for him.
I don't think so.
I mean, he was very mad about it.
He was very mad about it.
Is a sacrifice still a sacrifice if you don't want to be the sacrifice?
No. But also in sacrifice, like as far as how Rock Lee did, by opening multiple gates, he was actually damaging his own body.
True, that's sacrifice.
And yeah, sacrifice like that in anime is actually one of my favorite things. When you use a power, say when Ichigo first used his full Zanpakuto against Aizen.
Yeah.
And he didn't think he'd ever be able to use it again.
Oh, man.
That was like hype.
Yeah.
Because there was actually like weight to it.
There was stakes.
Yeah, there were stakes.
That's a lot of problem with shonen stuff is sometimes the stakes become stupid.
Well, either that or the stakes just don't exist.
Don't exist because you're like, listen, we know Goku, he's going to win.
Yeah, if not, don't worry. They'll summon him back.
They'll
and
wish him
after
back.
that, he'll have trained with some monster from another universe.
Yeah, or a hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, something.
Like there's always
Mr. Popo will kick him into shape.
There's always a Mr. Popo. And yeah, I think that is, and I wish, maybe we've seen it more, but I'm trying to think of like the popular shonens in today, right?
That have sacrifice?
Which we can go ahead and say, I would say the popular shonens today is My Hero Academia. We're not going to mention that much because it's bad for our viewership.
Yeah.
They're like, listen.
They're like, no.
But you would say My Hero is that still popular though? I feel like people have turned.
No, people turned back to it. This last season when he went like all dark, people were loving it.
Listen, get like us. We decided. Actually, no, you turned.
I watched season 5. I have not watched any season 6.
I also watched season 5. I can't say it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Season 5, I did not enjoy.
Do you still think that's one of the big shonens right now?
Oh yeah,
in anime,
it is. For better. Okay,
for worse.
So it is so big that its spin-off series is about to get animated.
Vigilantes.
Yeah, Vigilantes.
You remember when I accidentally bought that manga copy of Vigilantes?
Yeah, you want to know what's crazy? One of my friends is like, dude, it's way better than Hero Academy.
Oh, Rex.
Which, I know. The bar's not high, but still.
It's low.
He was like, yeah, it's way better than Hero Academy. But I'm like, this is the same friend that also really loves part 5 of JoJo's.
We don't trust him. We don't trust him here, Rex.
We don't accept you.
We don't accept you here. Sorry, friend, if you watch this.
I don't know. I actually did enjoy part 5 of JoJo's until you get close to the end.
I knew going in.
No, I actually liked it. The way he assassinated the guy with the banana, great.
JoJo's is so fucking weird.
It's so fucking weird. That's why I love it, though.
I understand what you mean, but if someone's never seen JoJo's, like...
He assassinated him with a banana? What?
Banana? Is this real? I feel like...
That's also why JoJo's does a really good job with power scaling to a degree. Though, honestly, in part 6...
Well, they technically get a transformation. Requiem.
Well, yes. Well, they got... Well, yeah, that was in part 5.
That's what I say, part 3.
Part 6, they also kind of did because Made in Heaven.
Oh, yeah. There was 2 transformations. Any 7? Not right now. I'm not finished with 7.
Yeah, I'm not finished with 7, so I'm not sure.
We need to finish with 7.
We do, but I'm currently trying to blaze through good old One Piece.
Which has a bunch of transformations.
It does.
And the hypest transformation that's going to break Crunchyroll coming.
Oh, it's guaranteed.
End of July to August. We looked it up today. I still really don't know. Because if you've read the manga, you understand there's a panel that's technically Gear 5, but he doesn't use it. I mean, a lot of shonens do this where they're like silhouetted or there's something covering them. But
they'll be like, it's coming.
It's fucking coming, boys. Like, I think Goku's Ultra Instinct, he like was in this like ball. And you're like, oh, it's fucking coming.
Zoids actually did that with its original series. So in the original, I can't remember which one it is. New Century? Yeah, New Century. whenever the Liger was transforming into the Blade Liger, like basically you just saw the silhouette.
You talking about Big Cloud?
No. Blade Liger. This was New Century. Not,
okay.
What is that one called?
Big Cloud is called Zoids 21st Century. No, I don't know. Battle Horizons.
No, stop. You're not even close.
Zoids.
I think that one might be New Century and the other ones. It's a little confusing because we got the second Zoid series first. And the first Zoid series mostly only played like super early in the morning, which is when I watched it because I was that guy that woke up really early to watch anime.
I watched the Sonic cartoon really early.
No, I watched like Beast Wars. Do you remember that? Transformers. Really? You never watched Beast Wars? It was the worst CGI you'll ever see.
I missed the boat on Transformers. I watched it as a kid. Yeah, it flew right past me. I was into the Batman.
I mean, I watched Batman as well. Also, Ninja Turtles, obviously.
Yeah, I watched
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was
Xmen.
Xmen. Dude, have you ever gone back and looked at the 1990s Xmen? That intro.
I haven't watched Xmen since I was a child, and I can still pull it, dude.
I'm so proud,
dude. I hate music, but that is in there for
ingrained.
Life. The 90s X-Men cartoon, which it was so popular, it was 1994, that they're bringing it back with X-Men 94, and they're doing it in the style of that X-Men.
That's
I think it could be super interesting. Yeah. But it's incredible. It is. I'm not like, I know people probably like anime and stuff, and you might not be big comic book people. It's incredible. I still probably think it's probably pretty good.
I mean, yeah, X-Men was crazy, but also, dude, the character design was not made for kids.
No,
not at all. Because if you look at Rogue or any other female character, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
it was questionable.
Tristan would love him.
Yeah, Tristan would. That might be what. Nah, Tristan's too young.
Yeah, he's too young. He's too young. He's not like us.
Yeah, he's not like us. Aged like fine wine.
Aged like, that's my boy. Aged like fine. You kidding? I know, bangers. It's lit.
No.
What else do they say? Rubbing one out. No, I don't. I was trying to think of like a hip lingo that
is not hip lingo.
That TikTok uses. I don't know. I'm too old. That's why I don't post on TikTok. I'm too old.
No.
Yeah. Goated.
Yeah,
That's
goated.
a phrase.
I actually watched a interview with who was it? Samuel L. Jackson recently, where he was defending anime.
Way to go, Samuel L. Jackson.
He was like, dude, anime just, and it wasn't even the joke thing of him being like, yeah, I watch hentai or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
It was actually him being like, nah, man, anime tells some of like the best storytelling in existence. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Oda or Goda as they call him. Like
fucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Fucking Samuel L. Jackson. And I was like, this is the best thing I've heard.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's almost like I watched an interview with Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah.
Big YouTube guy.
Yeah, you may have heard of him.
You know, because they were asking, like, do you watch YouTube? He's like, no, I'm too busy doing my own thing. He said, really, the only thing I watch is anime.
Really?
Yeah, obviously, he probably doesn't watch a lot of it because that dude seems very,
very
busy.
busy. Yeah.
But it's kind of cool when you hear about, like, because I think the stereotypes, and I know we definitely got this, you more than me, because you were more
growing up with it.
Yeah, of like you kind of see those stereotypes, and I'm so happy that it's changing and stuff. Of like people that like anime or like in a basement, lazy, garbage. You know, they smell bad.
Yeah, well, that's because of conventions.
Yeah, conventions odor.
Without ACs.
Yeah, and that's just, you know what? It's
that's
hot.
Just
you're
anyone.
Doing your best. As long as you're doing your best.
As long as you wear deodorant.
Yeah,
please wear deodorant.
Please, you know, maybe wash your hands and stuff. You know, keep it sanitary and nothing wrong. If you don't, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, you are part of the problem.
But I think it's very cool when you hear.
Like even Elon Musk, for example, also.
Yeah. Like you hear very successful people, whether you like them or not, I'm not even talking about that, but like very successful people that have done a lot of things and you know, become well known.
Yeah.
And that they watch it, it's kind of breaking that stereotype. And I think that's true because I think, like, it's crazy that Samuel L. Jackson said this, is regardless of the format of animation and stuff like that, and you can either think that's for kids or think that whatever.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what the guy he was talking to said, which I can't remember his name right now. He was a radio show host forever. Something Stein? I can't think.
Stein?
Yeah, like he's like old school.
Ben Stein.
No. Einstein, no.
Einstein. No. But yeah, I think it's just super cool that stereotype's kind of breaking, because it is true that I think it's just like we were talking about earlier. I think the story that Vinland Saga is trying to tell is
gonna go down in history.
Not only that, fucking timely. Yeah. Like to be set in where it's set, fucking timely.
Well, that was honestly, if you haven't, you should go watch the interview with the creator of it that Garnt did. Like,
oh yeah,
from Trash Taste.
Yeah,
amazing video. Like,
so
I
cool.
wish I had the chance to meet him.
So cool. Yeah, I do want to bring this up. It's kind of not about what we're talking about, but it's how we're living. It's how we're doing it today.
That's how we do.
Hey, it's just us two. It's the OG's bad. We can do what the fuck we want, Rex. We ain't got to stay on topic.
We don't have someone to keep us in line.
That's right, Tristan. I just imagine him listening to this being like, fuck, I thought we were friends. I thought we were brothers. We are.
We are. Brothers pick on each other.
You're the youngest brother. This is what happens.
That's accurate.
It is very accurate.
It's very accurate.
But no, so they passed a law in Japan. Did you read about this? They passed a law in Japan. I guess I should tell you before. Like, yeah, you read about this before I tell you what you should have read about. They passed a law in Japan that mangakas have to reveal their identity.
Since when?
I think it goes into effect very, very soon.
That's crazy.
Or it might not have passed, but it's on the table. Or they snuck it in with some other thing. But yeah, I wish I would have done more research if I was going to bring this up. I'm a bad host.
How could
Yeah. But yeah, I read that, right? And I started thinking about like, yeah, okay, it's okay if, the Vinland Saga made me think of it because he is actually very well known to go to conventions. Like even here in America, he's been to conventions. Yeah. Which is fine if that's his choice, but some mangakas just want to do their work and kind of live a life, and it kind of sucks that it was a career that you could have just done it as a pen name or whatever and kind of just lived your life and got to tell the stories you want to tell. And now if they pass this law, I think it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's kind of like authors using pen names.
Exactly. If someone doesn't want to reveal their identity, that's their personal fucking choice. And for the government to step in, Rex, I'm getting into your territory, brother. Here we go.
Good.
Hey, Rex's conspiracy corner. But I really need to do a little animation that goes on the screen. But for the government to fucking step in, man, and tell somebody that no, your identity has to be made public, is fucked. Well, and I think dangerous. I think very dangerous.
Because everyone's got their own situations. And
exactly.
Honestly, depending on what kind of story you're telling, people have gone to great lengths to try to like reach out to mangaka sometimes. Yeah. Especially Attack on Titan. Anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I meant to bring that up. And I thought, well, what a better time than on this podcast when I don't have the information and stuff like that. But I just think that there's a lot of reasons that people don't want to reveal their identities. It's the same way that I'm a big proponent of, like, VTubers.
Oh, yeah.
If they have reasons to, that's their personal shit. Like, you have no idea what they've dealt with in life or what, they might have going on in life where they don't want that shit out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be somebody's choice regardless, just because they are in this certain industry, to either have their identity known or not have their identity known.
Because the thing is, once you know someone's identity,
it's done.
Ability of finding them is much easier.
Hey, take it from me.
Yeah.
A guy that started a YouTube channel with his fucking name.
I'm so proud of you.
And then 3 people that have decided every episode to just say their full fucking name. Hey, I don't know. If you want to find me, you can come find me, I guess. Hello.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm not going to, be cool. If you're not cool, it is what it is.
things could go sour.
But you know, that's our choice, and we made that choice consciously of like, you know, it is what it is. And I just think that it is a safety concern.
It is.
Because people...
I mean, that's the same thing for, like, the idol industry, for example.
100%. And people are very rabid.
Yes.
And we've seen it, at least here in America, go very bad a few times. And when I read that, I was like, I don't agree with this whatsoever. I just think it's a bad decision. And and bummer.
Well, hopefully it did not pass. We'll look into it and get back to you.
Yeah, we'll give you an update. Yeah. So the fifth power scaling, Rex. 40 minutes into this podcast.
40 minutes in? Well, we're then going to talk about a few examples, obviously. But the fifth one, at least I think this is one of the better ones, is when they have a pact or a contract to get more power.
Yeah.
Like prime examples are like Black Clover.
Black Clover did it recently.
I think Hunter x Hunter did one of the best ones.
What's this Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah, what is this Hunter x Hunter?
In 34 subscribers, I'll know.
Yeah, you will forcibly be known.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
I'll get it together.
For those that do know, yeah, Kurapika, his contract is hell on earth.
Yeah. Also, fuck, dude. There's a anime that I like that Chainsaw Man.
Oh yeah.
Chainsaw Man does
you have packs with
devils. Yeah. Like literally, that's what it's about.
That is.
Yeah, I think I kind of like that idea though.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the better power scales.
It is because it also, I think, and that goes to a grander thing.
Also, a little bit of loss in it depending on how it's done.
Right, and it adds stake to the character, and it also comes with a cap.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Majority of the
times.
You're willing to sacrifice more. Obviously.
Yeah, and then it always leaves the door open for like,
it does.
We can go bigger.
I mean, it kind of does. It depends on how the series is written. Like Hunter x Hunter, as far as how the pact worked in that, there was a very strict power ceiling on it, and it was written very well with how he established it. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, even though he gained a lot of power by doing said contract, it came with so much burden at the same time. So I like it when series like really take that into consideration. I feel like Chainsaw Man actually did a good job.
I was gonna say I really liked it with Chainsaw Man. Again, I'm not current with like the newer stuff. I think I read the first few chapters of after the 11 volumes.
Gotcha.
But I really did like it with Chainsaw Man because not a lot of times, if at all, in that first arc, I guess, it's not like the powers change.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this dude made a pact with the Chainsaw Devil. That dude. Now, his chainsaws acted differently, and he kind of...
He trained a little and learned how to manipulate
the skills that we talked about. Like
technique.
The technique. You saw that where if people had packs for a while, their techniques were different. Thus, it made them seem more powerful. But the actual power of those abilities never really, like... It didn't Pokemon evolve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't reach level 25, and it's like this Charmander turned into a Charmeleon.
Yeah, it wasn't like, I found the Super Saiyan Devil.
Yeah. Man. I wonder, though. I wonder if Chainsaw Man will go that route of, like, if it's all... Okay.
I don't think it can go that route, but I don't know. I haven't read enough to know. I've only gotten to, like, Volume 5.
Yeah, I hope... with that series, you know, and maybe that's why I've lost kind of the interest to keep super current with it, and actually really, at least the pocket of the internet that I look at, a lot of people are not talking about it.
Yeah.
Is Chainsaw Man definitely struck me as a type of series that should have, and maybe it will be, it doesn't need to be long.
It doesn't.
I don't think I need 40 volumes of Chainsaw Man.
Like, I could honestly see Chainsaw Man ending before even, like, 19.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think it could have ended at 11.
Well, yeah, I think so, too.
I think
From what I've heard.
I think it could have ended at 11. And I think it would have been a solid, like, it would have just been, like, cool.
A nice 11.
Yeah, and now it got really popular. You know, they started looking at them dollar signs.
Yeah, the editor was like, hey, how about we try something?
And he was like, all right. But, I think that is a worry with a series like Chainsaw Man, that it could hit that power scaling of fighting universes if he wants to keep going.
I don't know if they could. Well, I don't think they'd go that far. I hope not.
I mean, that gun devil, you haven't gotten there, but you know he's hunting the gun devil.
Yes, very well.
Is very powerful. So
America.
Yeah. If the new arc, again, like I said, I don't know. If the new arc does what shonens do, the next villain has to be more powerful. Where do you go? And then if it continues to go,
I could see it getting
where do you go?
Very quickly.
Exactly. Like, I made a pact with the universe devil. And if I really want to, I can crush this whole world in the palm. I'm Galactus. That's another Marvel character. Look at us.
It is.
We're a comic book podcast now.
Who knew?
My favorite movie, Green Lantern. I said what I said. He made a roller coaster. It's very cool.
Yeah, it was the best.
I love it. Well received.
But honestly, the last power up is the most simple one.
Okay.
If they get a new item, new weapon.
New weapon.
Yeah, because
I'm trying to think.
It doesn't happen super often now, but Bleach kind of builds into it a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
New Zanpakuto.
Yeah, new Zanpakuto or new form of the Zanpakuto. Technically, that would still be
the 1,000-year Blood War's doing it right now.
It is. But it would also kind of be a transformation at the same time. A lot of times they get blended.
Because it came with, when he did the transformation, when he was training with those people.
Soul.
It was after like the first part of Bleach. He trained with them in like the little room in the.
You're talking about when he was training with Urahara? Or?
The Asgard, not the Asgard, the Ashard.
You're talking about the arc that I flew through. So
the ass.
No, I don't even think you're close.
Tristan,
why are you not here?
The Iran car.
Yeah.
I got there,
Wait,
Tristan.
He didn't train with them though.
Yes, did he not?
Iran car?
Yeah, did he not?
No, he trained with the other folks that had the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. They aren't Iran car.
What are they?
I can't remember the term.
Tristan, bring it into my brain right now. Yell at your listening device if you've gotten this far in this episode. Can I hear you? He said we're not friends. He's not giving me the answer. Son of a bitch.
But no, not the Iran car. They had a different term for them because they were originally Shinigami that
That's right.
gained the power of
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. But yeah, I do feel like Bleach honestly does a combination of most of those ways of powering up. There are some series that really limit themselves though, like Full Metal Alchemist, for example. You really only have one way of power up. Technically two. One is to see the truth. The other is to get a Philosopher's Stone.
I do know about this Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. You don't know about the truth yet.
No, I do not. But the Philosopher's Stone, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Now, for you that have finished the series, you know about the truth.
I don't know the truth. I will, though.
Yeah,
I really like that first volume.
You really need to finish it.
I will.
Because honestly, that is one of the series that does keeping the power levels really well. Because while there are a bunch of different types of alchemy, all of them have their own limits. All of them have their own faults. Mm-hmm. So there's nothing that's like, oh yeah, you're God tier.
Right. Well, I think that also goes with the extra fact of Full Metal Alchemist as an expert, because I've read one volume.
Yeah, one volume.
It does seem like she very much knew the story that she was going to try to tell.
For sure.
And I think that helps with power scaling a series, because if we look at very popular series, like we've mentioned 100 times on this podcast, is like the Dragon Balls and stuff. If Akira Toriyama had a set thing, he could have worked with the power scaling.
Well,
and some would say he did have a set thing, and then they tied him to that desk, and they said, keep going.
I was about to say, his set thing was finding the Dragon Balls at first.
Yeah.
Which, sadly, was just a gateway to keep the series constantly going.
Yeah, because the biggest thing that he had was, the Azuru, the giant apes, man.
Yeah.
That was his big thing.
Yeah.
And I think if you use your series, and this goes to a bigger problem and a bigger thing that I think we're actually seeing kind of the end of, depending on how Mobile Suit Gundam goes too. If you kind of have your story laid out and they let you do that story, I think power scaling on what we're talking about, it doesn't become an issue.
I mean, if you're referring to Mercury Witch, I don't think there's an issue with power scaling.
No, I'm talking about, I was just saying in reference of, I think we're seeing a lot of animes that are very set.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think we're getting into like, because they're understanding that you don't really have to keep a popular series going. And that's why I think the bigger thing of like the 40 volume stuff is going away and things like that. And Mercury Witch is just something I thought of like, it could be a tight 24.
It's going to be. There is no way.
There's no way they're going to 40.
Yeah, it's ending at 24.
And I think that's so cool to see in an anime where, just like Mashal's over. Like, he wrapped it up.
Oh, you mean the series?
The series
I was about to say, the anime does not even feel close.
No. But the series is over. And, yeah, and I think that's going to be a good thing, and I think that's going to keep a lot of what people kind of joke about and make memes about and what we kid about and stuff of, like, fighting gods and fighting universes and breaking, through our limits and this, that, and the third.
Yeah, going beyond.
Yeah, going
plus
beyond.
Ultra.
Plus Ultra. That series is the last of a dying breed. That and Attack on Titan Season 3, Part 4, Part 7, Point 2.
Well, Attack on Titan, I don't even put it in the same genre because honestly, to me, it's not shonen.
Yeah, but I do think, again, I don't know anything about Attack on Titan, so maybe I should not say this, but
it's a seinen mecha.
But I do, but I do remember reading a lot about how people did get a lot of overpower and people. The MacGuffin of it all has happened on Attack. From what I've heard, again, like I don't know.
I was about to say, I haven't seen the end. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen the beginning, really.
Oh.
I've read like 3 volumes.
I've seen a good bit.
Really?
Yeah, I went back and started rewatching again.
How is it?
I still enjoy it a lot. I don't have the same like hope that I did when I first watched it.
Yeah.
Before they went on hiatus at episode 14. But but I do still like really enjoy it. It's a really good story.
I just think what's killed that Attack on Titan hype, man,
is the parts.
Season 7, Part 3, Electric Boogaloo. Like that hardly ever. I go back and forth, right? Because and you guys can let us know that listen and stuff. I don't know if it would have been better for them to wait a longer time and just release stuff, like have it built up and ready than what they're doing. Like, I really don't know. I can't tell you what would have been better because I remember,
I honestly think it would be better if they would have done that.
Yeah, just waited and just like, we had a 3-year hiatus, but boys, it's back and banging.
They might as well have had. Like, they literally took a hiatus in the middle of a season.
Yeah, and I just don't know why. Because I feel like people nowadays, this is a good question, I think. Do you think people nowadays, because I do, like, it stays in people's minds more or longer?
Like a certain anime series?
Yeah, like I feel like if it's popular, right? I think people are okay with waiting a long time.
It depends on the series.
Do you think?
Yeah, because like, Dead Mount Deathplay, for example.
Okay.
It just ended its first season.
Right.
It's not coming back till October.
Right.
That's not that long to wait, really.
Mm-hmm.
If it was not coming back until like next July or something,
2025,
yeah, I don't think I'd be interested.
Think it'd be dead?
It would be dead. But the fact that it's only like a few months, yeah, I can stick with it. Because honestly,
so you're saying there's no chance for Darwin's Game Season 2?
I wouldn't say there's no chance, but I'd say it's minimal.
You saying people forgot?
I'm saying I feel like Noragami would get another season before that would.
Hey, people haven't forgot. I haven't forgot.
I mean, I haven't forgot either. I love Darwin's Game, but
I haven't forgot.
Boy, oh boy.
It's been a long time, Rex.
It has been a long time.
Life is different now.
It is. And honestly, that was one of the anime that had like one of the most interesting power systems.
Yeah, it really did.
It really did.
And skills.
Well, yeah.
Because it's less about the it's more about like how to use it and
yeah.
stuff like that. Darwin's Game. Been a while. Anime Unraveled Pod still remembers though.
Yeah. We don't forget.
We don't forget. But no, and that's what I really started thinking about of like, I think we're at a time that animes can do that. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe it has to get to a certain level.
It has to get to a certain level. I feel like as long as anime has at least like 24 to 26 episodes up front and actually has the time to build up enough of a foundation,
right?
Then yeah, it can take a rest to build up the rest. Like
but it has to reach that level.
Yeah, I don't think 13 episodes is long enough for a series to be like, okay, we can take like a year break and come back.
I bet you're right. I don't think a one season is a banger enough.
Yeah, no, because even Jujutsu, if it would ended at episode 13, I don't think it would be where it is.
I think you're right.
Yeah, even though I love Jujutsu, it's
right,
real good.
But it needed all that.
It needed 24.
It needed 24, and especially if we're getting into the place where a lot of animes now are not doing 24, are breaking up into 12 and 15 and things like that.
Which I'm fine.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine if you do like, if it's a well-built series like Jujutsu or something, where you have like 12 episodes one season, and then like maybe you take
October.
Yeah, you take a break and then have like the next season you'd have the other 12. That's fine.
Okay, but would you be down for this then?
Okay.
If a series like that, right? Like a Jujutsu is a perfect example because it's coming back and we're both very excited about
pretty
this.
hyped.
Again, it's very good. I wanted to backflip off my fucking couch at the very end of Jujutsu. Jujutsu ended excellently.
Yeah, it ended strong.
Would you be okay if it did 12, took a mid-season break and came back later in the year and did another 12, but then took like 2 years to do the next season?
I mean, at that point, yeah, it's
because you're built in.
It's built in enough. Like at that point, you've had 48 episodes probably, and which because it did 24 first season. So
yeah, okay. What if it was 12 and 12? What if it was just 24? You think it's not enough?
I don't think it's enough to wait 2 years.
You think you get a year?
Yeah, a year I would wait for sure.
Because I was just wondering how good a series has to be.
I think you just have to have enough content that people can look back at or remember and be like, oh, this series was hype as hell. Like, I can't wait for whenever they do finally release. Like, when you only have 12 episodes, you can only show off so much of a series.
Yeah, you only have so many scenes to go. But, like, do you remember this hype scene?
Like,
do you remember this hype scene?
Now, there are some series out there. There are 12 episodes that I will remember until the day I die. Like, beyond the boundary. I stand on this. Like, there are a good few, but they are rare.
Yeah.
Because nowadays there's so many series coming out.
So much.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming, and it gets to that point. Like, streaming and anime popularity is such a double-edged sword now because, like, again, you grew up in the days where you had to scour the deepest, darkest holes.
Dude, I grew up in the days where the amount of anime that we get in 1 week now was probably the amount of anime that we might have gotten in a year.
Yeah.
Like,
and
think about that.
And I think too,
we were lucky.
I'm saying we were grateful for that. We were grateful for those $27 3-episode VHSs.
Fucking yes, I still have all my Gundam Wing VHSs.
VHSs, if you don't know, you put them in tape players, and then
they use magnets.
Yeah, if you got it close to another magnet, you fucked.
Yeah, you messed up, Chief.
You had to rewind. Be kind, rewind. Blockbuster coming back, hopefully. No, I don't know.
I did see Blockbuster shitting on Netflix.
I did see that.
Oh, it made me happy.
I remember the days when we didn't have to share passwords. I was like, fucking right, Blockbuster. Good
job.
for you.
Good for you.
The one person in that room still running that account. Not getting paid.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I think it's such a double-edged sword, man, because yeah, we are getting so much content, but in one hand, you can't keep up with all the content.
It's impossible.
You can't. You just can't.
I was actually talking to Autumn like earlier this week. I was like, yeah, I've just about caught up with anime. And she was like, really? I was like, well, the series I am keeping up with, there are tons that I haven't even, like Skip and Loaf, haven't even checked out, but I want to.
Yeah, I really like that. I read 3 volumes of the manga. It's cute. Like, it's like, it's that type of series.
Yeah.
It's the high school rom-com thing.
I figure it's worth a chance.
It's better than Horimiya.
Hey, I probably will disagree. But who
You
knows?
will. It's not as wholesome as My Dress Up Darling, though. That is still, like, up there for me, man.
That's a mix as far as calling that wholesome.
His dick did get hard. We were all
forget.
sitting in your
Yeah,
living room when that scene, and we were like, all right.
This is awkward.
Fucking cool, man. Fucking sweet. Because Autumn was into that series, too.
She really liked it.
Yeah, but that's another one, right? That's waited a long time to come back.
It has.
I don't even know. It's like I don't even know if it's coming back anytime soon.
I think it's this season. Horimiu's coming back.
Is it coming back?
Yeah, it's getting another season. I think it's like either offshoot stories or
like a side story.
Yeah,
maybe?
I don't think it's gonna continue the main line, but I'm not sure.
Exciting.
Yeah, I will at least check it out.
Me too.
I don't think it's gonna be what season 1 was, which for you means it's not gonna be worth checking out.
I'm gonna check it out just so I can shit on it at you.
I hate you.
That's right. That's right.
But you actually brought up something earlier. You were talking about how a lot of anime back in the day used to just break ceilings constantly with power scaling and, get to universe crushing levels.
Yeah.
There are some anime that did that well.
Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
I knew you were going to say that. I watched 3 episodes of that anime and said, oof.
Dude, no.
I couldn't get over the lady in the bikini, man.
Well, yeah, I figured.
She's a bummer.
Yeah, I was about to say, you were going to have issues with that because it does have a lot of ecchi scenes.
Yeah.
But
not the good ecchi.
Well, yeah.
There's good ecchi.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not my dress up darling.
Step on me energy. Hey, bottom of her feet straight showing.
Jeez, buddy.
Hey, I'm just saying, someone saw that and said, this is the moment I've been waiting for.
I did actually.
Peak anime.
I don't remember what anime it was, but people got mad because there was a scene like that and they like slightly cut that out of it.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
I bet. Hey, listen.
Down bad.
Hey, I don't judge people. Love is love. Whatever works. You know what I mean? I don't care. I'm just saying there's somebody that saw that scene and said, this is what the fuck I am talking about.
This is what I've been waiting for.
Anime can end. We've done it. But no, Gurren Lagann, man, I just couldn't get behind, dude.
I don't know. Gurren Lagann, I feel like it knew what it was doing by breaking the power ceiling like constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they literally go from like, oh, we have like nothing to, oh, we have a mech to, oh, we have a mech that's like the size of a universe. But there's also just anime that use some of the examples as far as how they powered up characters and did it extremely well. Because not only the big 3, but there's a bunch of series that honestly had great power scaling and great transformations.
All right, hit me with them.
Okay, so I've talked about this one before.
Okay, here we
Sadly, the anime of it is trash.
Uh-oh.
Chrono Crusade.
I have heard that name.
You have.
Multiple times.
But it's one of the ones. So I feel like there were a few manga back in the day that all did the same thing. They started off with a character that was completely busted.
Right.
But then they downed his power and made it to where he could only transform for like either a limited amount of time or had some kind of...
They nerfed him.
Yeah, they nerfed him hard.
Yeah.
And which Chrono Crusade was definitely one of those because you had Chrono, who literally was a devil that had killed millions of devils, who, yeah, he was one of the biggest badasses in existence. But he lost his ability to like basically generate his own power and therefore had to rely on the souls of the living. And one person at a time, he ends up like slowly killing them to use his power. And he doesn't want to kill anyone. So that's where a little bit of drama comes in.
Gotcha.
But it was so good.
Oh, like you said, you have talked that series all the way up.
I talked that series up because the way it ends is just, honestly, as far as manga endings, it's one of the best ones I can remember growing up with. King of Hell was another example where you start off with a busted character and then he gets severely limited, but he can eventually transform back to his previous form. Great series, did power scaling really well. Also, if you just like martial arts, it's one of the best.
Yeah, you've talked
honestly, most of the manga from that age really focused heavily on like martial arts.
No, but you've talked about, and that's why you probably like too, Soul Leveling.
Yeah, Soul Leveling, it's great.
When that anime comes out, We have high hopes. We have high hopes.
I have high hopes, but I just don't know.
Had to have high hopes for a living.
Yeah, basically. But I don't know. See, I'm not putting such a heavy emphasis on it now because I have other things that are coming out like in the next few weeks.
Oh yeah.
That for now really overshadow it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Because with solo leveling, I know exactly where it should go.
Right. Because you reread that manhwa
5 times.
at minimum.
Yeah, because I'd be bored, and honestly, I didn't know which other manga to really read.
Right.
And which now I do. I've read a good few others. And honestly, there are so many good ones.
Manhwa, I think.
I feel like they were underrated.
Yeah, we're going to have a surge, man.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like there's already a surge.
It's coming. That's what I'm saying. We're living in it. Because I've heard of another one that I really want to check out called The Boxer. I heard that's really good.
I've read like a few different ones. There's one like about a policeman that was really good, even though he originally was like an assassin.
Oh,
so good.
That does.
Yeah, it's
good.
like an isekai, except
you don't remember the name, do you?
I don't. I have it written down somewhere.
Wow.
Because I read everything that was out when I found it.
Right.
And which it's one of the most it's honestly like a John Wick manga, except
I'm in.
Instead of like there's no superpowers.
Yeah.
But you do have people that have like somewhat abilities, but they're like drug-induced abilities or like martial arts. There's all kinds.
They're doing that thing where like you've seen it in movies and stuff too. They eject themselves with something and then it's on.
Basically.
Yeah. Like I think what was that movie that I really liked that I think got Dread?
I don't think I ever watched it. I remember the commercials.
Yeah, it was like it was Judge Dredd, but it was the reboot.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Dredd.
I saw the original Judge Dredd.
Yeah. Very good. The reboot with Carl Urban. Let me tell you.
Wait, Carl Urban was in that?
He's Dredd.
Okay, I gotta go watch that now.
Yeah, it's like if they did The Raid, but with Dredd. It was awesome. It was super cool. I think that reboot it got shit on.
Well,
not from me though. I know the good stuff.
I think I'll be going and watching that very soon.
Yeah, it's very good.
I remember really liking the first Judge Dredd.
Yeah, just imagine, because, Sylvester Stallone was Judge Dredd. Imagine if the action got like 10 times more hype.
Yeah.
And the lines were cheesy, but not in a Sylvester Stallone way, like in like a cool John Wick way.
That just sounds great.
It is great. Highly recommend. Dude, if you want
I mean, everything you've recommended to me so far has been amazing because I did just finish Blade Runner 2049 and
that got shit on, and I think that
it got shit on, and honestly, it was great.
Yeah, you understand why that director got to direct Dune.
Yeah, and why Dune was amazing.
His shot composition is so good. I love, man. Yeah, listen. I might not know much, but I know like somewhat cheesy but really cool action movies. It's just I've always loved them.
Gotcha. The Fifth Element. Fantastic.
Fifth Element's okay. That's right. I said what I said. The Fifth Element is okay.
I don't know. That's one I grew up with that I just loved.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not the biggest Bruce Willis guy. Like, I like him in Die Hard. I like him as John McClane. And I like him as the baby in Look Who's Talking. He was the voice of the baby in Look Who's Talking.
I've never seen that.
For the young ones out there, it's not a great movie. I grew up with it. It's about some babies that can talk. Look Who's Talking. John Travolta's in it.
That doesn't sound great.
It is great. In like the worst possible way.
I think this is the one I won't believe.
No, yeah, I wouldn't either. It's not good. Probably doesn't hold up.
Probably not.
But yeah, man, I don't know. Like when we talk about power scaling in general, I think that my hope is that since we are seeing kind of a shift, and I think that shonen anime, because that's really when you talk about like seinen has a little bit of it, but shonen is really where the power scaling conversations happen.
Yeah.
And I think since shonen anime is really changing towards it doesn't have to go on forever, series don't have to go on forever. We're getting in, we're getting out. And yeah, there might be a little bit longer series. I do think that conversation is going to die down because I don't think we're going to see
the bustedness that we have.
Yeah, I think the problems are going to go away.
Well, you say that, but even like jujitsu, now there are counters to a lot of the powers in it, but the powers are still pretty damn busted.
I will say this. I guess when I say, and this is maybe a kind of a fun question to ask and stuff. When I say it's shifting, I think that we're talking like the My Heroes, Black Clover, Jujitsu, right? Those are the new old school. Because the question I want to pose, right? Yeah. And this is kind of an interesting topic, is when you say old school, do you think Bleach, Dragon Ball, Hunter x Hunter?
I do.
When you say new school, do you think My Hero Academia?
I also think like One Punch Man as somewhat new school.
Been around.
Yeah, it's been around.
When does that end?
I don't know.
And then what the fuck is next? Dragon Ball? What's it called?
Oh, Dragon Ball, like,
will always be old school, and then those will just go into that.
I mean, I think those will eventually be called like classic, and then we'll like be like,
maybe. Yeah. Are we gonna be classic, Rex? Are we going classic?
I mean, I enjoy me some classic anime. So.
I'm saying, are we classic?
I mean, we'll make it there.
Yeah, maybe. We'll get it there eventually.
As long as we get your support.
But, yeah, that's right. We'll be, dude. I'll be 70. I'll come in here with my walker and my breathing apparatus.
I'll be dressed up as Askeladd. It'll be great.
It'll be great. But no, I've been thinking about that a lot, right? Lately, is when does that switch happen? Like, when does
something become classic or
old school? Like, when does that graduating class in shonen or whatever
honestly
genre,
I think about 20 years because
do you think 20?
Yeah, because you have to think that's when One Piece started about 20 years ago.
I guess, but
being like whenever I first started watching anime, when One Piece and stuff was coming out, and Dragon Ball Z was big.
Yeah,
the classics were like the original Gundams that came out in the early 70s, late 70s.
But here's my thing: if you talk to someone that got into anime in 2010, you know, with sword art and all that stuff, One Piece was old. One Piece was old school at that point.
Well, it was.
It was in 4:3 fucking ratio, Rex.
Yes, it was old school, I'll give you, but it was also still continuing. So it was Bleach at that time.
So does it have to end?
I feel like
for it to be old school, it can't continuously be. So
One Piece is still continuing. In which One Piece
is that new school?
The new episodes? Yes.
Is Bleach new school then?
I mean, I kind of feel like it is. I only say this because...
So if Dragon Ball Super comes back, is that new school?
I guess. I don't know.
See?
The only reason I say that like Bleach and One Piece, for example, they have changed up the way they animate
100%.
Drastically.
100%.
They have definitely looked at the anime that's come out recently and been like, hey, these are new techniques we can use to make the series even better.
I mean, you could even say, whether you agree with this or not, you could say that One Piece is even trying to push the line of what animation can do, because they're bringing like Warner Brothers and all that stuff, and we still haven't seen the episode, so we don't know. Yeah. But I do know, and I think I even showed you this a little bit, like some of their most recent stuff in Wano. I think it was
I've seen it
10-15 or something when he Red Rock punched Kaido and stuff. Like that animation style really was amazing.
I mean, the animation and honestly, the most recent episodes of One Piece has been some of the best animation I think that has ever existed.
Right.
Like, it might not be like the most technically detailed, but as far as like drawing action scenes in a very detailed and honestly easily understandable way,
right,
is some of the smoothest animation I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think that's why this question becomes so interesting, because I was kind of looking at my collection and like looking around and stuff, and I was like, okay, when does
something become classic?
Yeah, or old school. And because I think of, and I'll just use this as an example. I know I've talked about this series before, right? But we're in this genre. I would say Sakamoto Days is new school.
For sure.
I would say Black Clover is getting there to old school.
I mean, I think Black Clover is very much built in the old school fashion.
But when people talk about new big three,
yeah, they talk about, well, they used to talk about Black Clover
and My Hero Academia. So, and obviously I know this is a very contentious subject on the internet. I say that the big three is really only ever going to be those. It's not a title that can kind of be passed down. Yeah, it's not something that can
keep being passed down.
That's where I kind of land with it. But
now, don't get me wrong, if some new series came out and they ended up lasting like over 100 volumes each or some like up to 70 volumes, yeah, there would be an argument that there's another big three.
Yeah, but when do we
see
see that, right?
I don't think it will ever happen.
I don't
the
think
issue.
so.
That's why I think the timing that the ones that did come out, there just won't be another set.
Because you can't
replicate it in
well,
this
that
market.
You can't introduce a whole, and I know some people didn't get introduced by it, but for the general population, you can't introduce a whole new art form or medium as anime to a whole different culture like America ever again. And those three did that.
They did.
You know, for better or for worse,
well,
they did that.
They somewhat did. They already had some before kind of lay the groundwork.
What
they
I'm
were the
saying
ones that really
got in the zeitgeist,
yeah.
got in the conversation, got in the thing, got the Toonami block going on the Cartoon Network, and the Adult Swim at midnight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
So I think that's why that title is held there. I just have really been thinking a lot lately because all of these new school series, like the My Heroes and the Black Clover and the One Punch Man, even Jujutsu is in volume 20 plus now. When do they shift over? And then when does... and I think Bleach and One Piece are so interesting because Bleach came back, and that's hardly you ever see that.
Yeah, you never see that.
And One Piece is fucking...
continued.
In a goddamn league of its own.
Okay, so the only reason I would say One Piece... primarily being both old school and new school is if you go back and watch the original versus now, they've obviously been building on it. I think constantly been changing.
Yeah, One Piece will always be considered in a league of its own, whether you like it or not.
Because,
I'm not even talking about
that.
Well,
yeah, because it's literally the only series I think that you can watch and see how anime has changed throughout the years. And it's kind of like if you go back and read the Harry Potter series. Yeah. It starts off very much childlike book. By the time you get to the end of it, though,
definitely
it is aged with you. Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it kind of can't be taken because nothing can ever replicate that. And the business is not there.
It's not.
To run for 100 plus volumes, you know? And especially if we're talking not even manga, if we're talking anime, like you said, technology has gotten to such a point that, you know, obviously we have 8K and stuff like that. The human eye can't. There's never going to be a jump as massive as 4:3 to 16:9.
You say that.
What can it be?
I don't know.
Put it in my brain. Let it project into
Apple
AR
Eye or whatever.
Oh yeah, not iWatch. Fuck, I know iVisor, eye Vision. Vision Pro or something, whatever, the fucking $3,500.
Yeah, you know, for all of us, easily affordable. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean,
maybe you'll be inside the anime.
Yeah,
in the future.
I know. But as of right now, there's not a big jump like 4:3 to 16:9.
No, and with a lot of those older series, you saw that jump happen.
I guess technically you say that with Bleach now, though.
Well, yeah, you saw that happen with Bleach before 1,000-Year Blood War.
But what I'm saying is, and I still think it's going to be so funny when someone that doesn't know shit all about this, you know, they
go back and try to watch original
Bleach and they run and they just watch it, right? Because they're like, oh, look at this relic, and then they get to 1,000-Year Blood War and they're like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, especially if they don't pay attention to when it was released.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, what the fuck?
What's gonna blow my mind more is if someone starts watching 1,000-Year Blood War and realizes, oh, I should go back and watch the original. The only thing that I think will make it to where they might actually keep up with it is the fact that 1,000-Year Blood War so far has used a majority of the soundtrack from the first season.
You're saying the music's going to save it.
No, I'm saying the music will make them be like, oh shit, this is good.
Saying the music makes Bleach, nothing else.
No, it's not just the music, but I will tell you that, I can't remember his name, Shiro Sagisa, amazing composer. Like, honestly, one of the best.
Legendary.
Up there.
Him and the Cowboy Bebop.
Well, yeah, you can't beat
You said the name earlier to me today on the phone.
There's no way.
Yeah, you said you You watched?
No, I said Watanabe. That's the director.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not
Because I was like, you said talking about you watched Blade Runner Blackout, and we went into Cowboy Bebop, but you're talking about the director.
Yeah, I was talking about the director,
not the composer.
Yeah, not the
but
composer.
But the composer is super well known.
Oh, yeah, the composer has done some of my favorite anime.
The name's going to come later tonight.
Yeah, and then I'm going to hate myself.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
He apologizes.
In advance.
Hey, it's late, okay? We've been recording. It's at night. The darkness is closing in.
We're closing in on tomorrow at this
We
rate.
are, and if you don't know this, we're old, and it's past our bedtime.
For sure.
But how do you think we did this episode?
I think we did pretty good. We didn't really provide that many examples.
I mean, throw them out. Hey, you want to throw them at the end?
I mean, sure. Why
Okay,
not?
go for it, man.
Okay, so let's think here. If we have someone that's mindset driven.
Okay, yeah. See, you got 6 categories. Let's see if I can also come up with it, right?
Okay, well, I'll go ahead with mindset then because I feel like that one is, I don't know, not difficult, but it's usually combined with something else. There's a few examples to where it's just the one, though.
Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin's a prime example because he literally has like a personality disorder where he swaps between being a manslayer or being a peaceful pacifist.
Right.
So that's a big example because honestly, his fighting style changes drastically.
And he doesn't transform.
He doesn't transform, but he does look a little different. Like
because I would say Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho, but that's a transformation.
Well, that's a full transformation, and it's a mindset thing, though.
That's what I was saying.
It really is because he's so much more deadly.
That's what I'm saying. That's the first person that popped into my head when you said mindset.
Samurai Deeper Kyo is another prime example, but it's very similar to Rurouni Kenshin in the fact that that one's really hard to even explain because it's like a guy and another guy's body. It's real weird.
Very cool.
Very weird.
Yeah, mindset. What's a good one for mindset? Like I said, that the Kurama's recent for me because I read that manga of like his whole mindset changed. Rock Lee, we already talked about.
I mean, I'd say Hunter x Hunter has a good example of that.
Rex, I would never pull Hunter x Hunter. You know this, okay? Not for another 34 subscribers.
Yeah. Go to
I'm trying to think. You know what? Ride with me on this one.
Okay.
And Tristan's not here, so he can't talk shit. Joseph Joestar. Part 2. And the reason I say this, right? Because it's only Haman, so they don't have stands.
Yeah, they don't have stands.
And he is such a goofy goofball.
He is, but when he
focuses,
he goes hard. Yeah,
that's a good mindset.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's one of the better ones, which honestly, JoJo's, as far as power scaling goes, yes, he does write himself into broken-ass corners.
Oh, for sure.
Multiple times.
But he does a good job getting himself out.
Yeah, he does. Well, he does an interesting job.
Interesting. You know what? You're right.
I was about to say, we have Polnareff as a ghost.
You're right. Fair.
Inside a turtle.
I understand this. After I said it, after it came out of my mouth,
now,
I knew I was wrong.
Transformations with, like, sacrifice and stuff, though. Terraformers, man. I know you don't like it, but literally even in the first volume, one of the guys pushes his power to the limit once he's transformed into his like insectoid form. Yeah. In which he pushed himself too far and he dies as an insect. Like because he couldn't revert back to being human. So
reminds me of the Animorph one.
Yeah, which
the guy that stayed the hawk too long and then he was always the hawk.
That I think maybe nostalgia for stuff like that's why I like Terraformers.
Yeah.
Like honestly.
Yeah, because you were a big Animorphs kid.
I mean, I wasn't, but I thought the ideas were really cool.
I was with you. I was like, man, this idea is cool.
The idea was cool. Like as far as the actual
the show in the books.
Yeah, no.
Rough for me.
Rough, very rough.
Rough. So for Transform, if I had to pick one, I mean, iconic transformation, the Super Saiyan, you got to say Goku, right? Like, it's iconic. The transformation to Super Saiyan is iconic.
It is very much iconic.
Man, Transforming
is a little bit of a tough one, but at the same time, there's a lot of examples.
I think that's what makes it so tough, though.
Yeah, I was about to say Chrono Crusade, King of Hell, both of those had transformations that were kind of basic for the time.
Yeah.
Because it was literally just them returning to their actual forms.
Right.
But still, they were done really well because the buildup was always like they are facing death, and that's the only reason they're willing to do this or that they're capable of doing this.
Yeah, I would say for me, I mean, yeah, the only two that are popping into my head, and I talk so much shit about the series, but like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's a pretty fucking iconic.
That was one of the most hyped moments of my life.
When it cut through like the little line.
Now, I will say, earlier today I saw a game store that just had like the Pokemon Blue, just like the original box.
Yeah.
The nostalgia hit me so hard I thought I was gonna cry. I'm not even kidding. I was like,
I understand that feeling.
I was just like, Pokemon Evolutions, dear God,
dude,
transformation.
Yeah, that's a fucking
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, yes.
Literally, I thought about it when I saw that. I was like, I don't think I've ever been as hyped for a game as I was for Pokemon Blue.
Well, because you got to think about it, right? In our time, back in the day, we didn't have the internet to really spoil things. So when Pokemons were evolving,
it was new to us.
A lot of times you didn't know because unless you bought the strategy guide, maybe it had the 151 in there.
Yeah.
But it might have had the 150. I don't even know if they said anything about Mew or
they
anything
usually
like
have
that.
151. It depends on the guide, though.
But think about that of like, we didn't get none of these press conferences, none of that to show you like, because now you're like, here are your starters and here's the evolutions of them. You didn't know what the fuck they look like. So you were just like, what the fuck is happening?
What will this be? Which...
Simpler times.
I think the other big thing about that made it like honestly one of the biggest games that will ever have impacted my life.
Yeah.
It was the first time I had my own like handheld because
I agree.
Growing up with a brother, we always had to like share systems and stuff. That was the first time I had something that was like mine. I could continuously
You're like,
play.
I got this fucking turquoise game. Oh no.
No, it has a Charmeleon on it.
I know, I saw it.
Too late. Yeah.
You're like, this is mine.
Yeah, Game Boy Color.
With Pokemon Silver in the back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I tried to keep it on brand.
Very on brand because you also have this
Charmeleon. Hell yeah.
I'm going to have to fix that later.
It's fine.
But yeah, I think I'm the same with you. I think handhelds were when the Game Boy.
I think it was like the most hype that you could get. At least for the first one.
Yeah, well that, and I was going to say like, it did feel like the first time that I had like my own thing.
Yeah.
For sure. It was just like, this is mine. Don't touch this.
Yeah, in which I remember when I first got a Game Boy Pocket, like I refused to, I wouldn't take it to school, any of that, because I was scared it would get taken up or someone might steal it or something.
100%. I had a kid steal my Pokemon Red.
I had a kid steal my Game Boy Advance because I did make
criminals.
Yeah, I did make the mistake of taking it to school. They did give it back eventually, but I was like, dude, you don't play about that. Like, for me, that's like, I can't buy another one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we're not. Listen.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at the clothes I'm wearing.
Yeah,
we're not. This is mine.
We are not the same.
We are not the same. Yeah, I remember the
Peasants
kid. I remember this kid. I have bad memories. I remember this kid, man. My Pokemon Red, and then he said it was mine or it was his, and he wrote his.
He wrote his name on it.
Yeah, Omar. Fucking Omar. Dude, I remember this.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, if someone would have done that to me, I'd be in penitentiary.
I never got it back.
No,
I never got it back, dude.
Dude, we gotta go. We gotta find
Omar. I'm coming for you. All right, we gotta end this podcast.
All right,
we're about to criminal acts. Are about to happen.
Well, we didn't talk a lot about the transformations and stuff, but we did give you some examples.
Yeah, and you never know. You know, there might come a time where the OGs come back together with no Tristan, and you know what? We'll continue this conversation.
Yeah, we might build upon it.
Yeah, because you know what?
Especially if you guys leave comments below, maybe stuff we missed.
Hey. Or they could,
like and subscribe at youtube.com/AnimeUnraveled.
Look at that plug.
Yeah,
look at that plug. It went right into it. And, boy, I'm going to post one day on the TikTok. Ticking and talking. One day soon, maybe, hopefully, who knows. And then, Tristan does what does he do?
If you guys don't like our faces, you can go to Spotify, you can go to iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast, and listen to us there.
Yeah, if you don't want to look at us, I understand it.
I get it.
I get it, and you just want to listen to our sultry voices, Spotify, leave that review. And, Rex, hey, listen, we did it.
We did.
We did it. We got through it. Just the duo.
Late at night.
The dynamic duo, the Nightwing and Robin.
Wait, that makes no sense.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, it kind of
does. Because there was other Robins.
There were other
Neither
ones.
one of us want to be Batman. Too much responsibility, Batman.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You got to make
I
all that
actually
money.
like that.
That's what I'm saying. Nightwing and Robin.
Also, Nightwing, I feel like had a good deal out of a lot of things.
Dude, Nightwing. We got to end this pod.
We
We're about
do.
to run out of
We're about
battery.
to-
I am so sorry. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.